What's going on, guys? My name is Triforce Addiction. Welcome back to another COD Mobile video. So Season 7 is finally reaching its end with only a few days left before the Season 8 update alongside the Battle Pass arrive. So maybe on Monday we're probably going to get the update, and pretty much everything about this game is going to change in a significant way. So I thought it would be a good time to rank all the legendaries that were released for this season from worst to best. So I won't lie to you guys, ranking this one was kind of hard because, well, in most seasons you can kind of tell which is like the best legendary of all of them that get released. But this time around it's a little more complicated than that because most of the legendaries that were released for this season are extremely good in their own rights. But of course, if we're gonna rank them from worst to best, yeah, it could get a little complicated, and I know there's gonna be a lot of mixed opinions. Just keep in mind that this whole top 5, or this whole list is basically my own opinion. If you guys want to let me know how you would rank all the legendaries for this season, let me know down in the comments section, and always be sure to subscribe, make sure to leave a like, and yeah, let's get our channel pushing to 4K. So coming in last place, I know this is gonna surprise the hell out of a lot of you, and knowing full well that I'm a huge fan of the QQ9. Yeah, this one's gonna have to be in last place, mainly because there's just for a reactive skin, there's not really much going on with it. Yes, the structure does look nice. It does look pretty elegant, has a high-tech feel. I mean, the death effect as well is amazing. But I feel like this weapon just didn't live up to the hype that I expected it to be. And don't get me wrong, I love this skin and everything that it does, but if I'm gonna be honest and I'm putting bias aside, it's not the best one. I will admit, because I mean there's for a gun that is supposed to be animated, it doesn't really seem to have a lot of animations to it. Yes, it does have a really cool death effect, and it has new shooting sounds and even reloading sounds, but sometimes it can be extremely loud to the point where you literally, sometimes I feel like I go deaf just shooting this weapon. In terms of its physical structure, I mean, it does look very nice. Has that nice tech feel, gives it like a futuristic vibe. But if I'm gonna be honest with you, it's the iron sight is cool and all, it looks nice. Looks clean, but at the same time, it feels more awkward than the Sigrun or even the base weapon itself. This was a tough decision because I actually did originally plan to put the Salamander in 5th place, but the thing was that, it's a little bit more unique and it does help the gun significantly more than this one. And I feel like the overall features for that one seem to kind of outweigh this one a little bit. So coming in number 4, like I said, it is going to be the M4 LMG Salamander. So I know this was a very hyped skin for a long time. We did not get this right away. This has been kind of in the game for, I don't even know how long, but yeah, it's one of those skins that I've been waiting for a long time, because I mean the M4 LMG is one of those LMGs that was just neglected and never got a legendary ever. I mean, up until Season 7, every LMG had a legendary skin or a mythic skin, but for this one we just never had one, and it's nice to finally have some sort of legendary for this weapon. But of course there are downsides with it. I mean, there's no outside animations other than just the little hologram on the iron sight, which does help the weapon a lot. I mean, not the hologram, but just the iron sight itself. It does have a completely new reload animation. It does have some sort of physical animations. Whenever you do shoot the weapon, the barrel does kind of rotate like that. I said before when I was reviewing this skin that it does feel kind of like a mythic skin, but as a legendary. I usually say that because mythic weapons are well known for having physical animations instead of just having energy flowing around it. So pretty much everything about this weapon is very, very good, but the only problem I have with it is the death effect. I feel like it's not really the best. I think honestly it's probably one of the worst death effects that I've seen, right next to the RPD Practical Joker. But yeah, I do give it rank number 4, and I know a lot of you guys are gonna riot and tell me off in the comments section like, Triforce, what the fuck is wrong with you, or something like that. I know you guys love your anime, but in terms of just its design, everything, it's cool, but I felt like they could have done a little bit more to make it better. So coming in at number 3 is the AK-117 Acer. So I know a lot of people are gonna like just get pissed at me as well for this one. I have a lot of controversial decisions on this video. But like, who can blame me? Because I mean, all these legendary skins are amazing, but when it comes to the AK-117, the animations are pretty minimal for the most part. I mean, they only revolve around the body of the gun, and they're just extremely small for the most part. Yes, it does have a pretty cool iron sight, probably the best out of the 3 legendary skins. But I don't know, it just doesn't sit right with me, and I'm sure it doesn't with you guys either. In terms of its physical design, you know, setting aside all the animations, yeah, I would say it's very well designed. Probably the best in, you know, out of all the 5 legendaries for this season. But if we're just counting everything with death effects, reloading, all that stuff, it's definitely not going to be the best. I mean, you know, even though the iron sight is very helpful, I mean, you know, the base iron sight for the weapon itself is just, it's more or less the same thing. So having an iron sight like this is not really, it's not really too significant. It does have its own shooting sounds, I think also a reloading sound, but mainly just shooting sounds, where it does feel kind of heavy, but it does make the gun feel a little bit stronger. Of course, it's not really, it's not making the gun any better, but it makes it feel, it has like a placebo effect to it, if you get what I mean. So yeah, this one's number 3, so sue me. I have a right to my own opinions. But yeah, anyways, moving on. So coming in at number 2, believe it or not, is the Hades Void Sender. So I know some of you guys that watch my streams or even my videos know that I don't really put this gun up in my gameplay, or like my background gameplay at least. Of course, you know, I'm not really a huge fan of the Hades. I mean, it's a good LMG, don't get me wrong. But if we're gonna judge the skin, I mean, it does deserve to have a silver medal in this case, because there's just a lot more going on with it compared to the others. I mean, yeah, like I said, the Acer has a very, very good physical design with some pretty decent animations, but when it comes to just the animations and just the design over here for the Hades Void Sender, I would say there's a lot more going on, and plus it illuminates the gun far more than the Acer does. I mean, if you go into a dark place and you just see like this pink light all over the gun, I mean, it looks amazing. Like what you're seeing right now when I'm in this little room, I mean, it looks like so well lit. I mean, there's even some, you know, energy kind of coursing around the magazine. I mean, the entire gun is just crafted in a gilded black design, and I just love it. It looks very fancy. It has that like true elegant feel to it. It has its own shooting sound as well as a reload sound. Just everything about this gun is just amazing in my opinion. And even the iron sight is a bigger help compared to the base weapon itself. So yeah, that's why I gave it the number 2 spot in the first place, because there's just so much more going on with animations. I mean, the death effect itself is not really the greatest, but I mean, it's pretty solid overall. For the number 1 spot, this one was pretty much a no-brainer. This one just had to be in first place because it just trumps every single legendary for this season. The BK57 Flash Freeze. So I know a lot of you guys are probably confused at this point, but the reason why I put it in first place, because I feel like in terms of animations, physical design, all that stuff, the death effect, the shooting sounds, they all really go well with this weapon. I don't really know how to explain it, but you know, with the iron sight, it's a much better help compared to the base weapon itself. And I did say that, you know, in terms of its design for the iron sight, it is a little more superior than the space race, even though it may not be that great competitively. So unlike the other legendaries, at least when it comes to its reactive stages, it does change the gun in a physical way. Because, you know, in terms of, you know, the Hades Void Sender, where the more kills you get, the more energy just revolves around it. Yeah, that's pretty much all it has, like just different particle effects. But here it actually changes the physical structure of the weapon, and that's why I ranked it in first place. I mean, if it didn't have that, you know, change, it would probably be tied with the Void Sender. But I mean, just because it has that, it kind of has a, I feel like it has an upper hand over the Void Sender. In my personal opinion, the Flash Freeze kind of defines what a reactive legendary should look like. I mean, not just only changing like the fact that there's just a little bit more energy that revolves around the gun, but you know, physical changes can also matter as well, you know? I mean, that's what happened in in Black Ops 4, where they had reactive mastercrafts where, you know, everything was consistently moving, or, you know, there's always some different physical change that happens instead of just like some sort of energy revolving around it. And that's what I love about this skin. It kind of strays away from the typical reactive legendaries that we get on like a normal basis. So anyways, that's going to conclude the legendary ranking video for season 7. I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember, this is all my personal opinion. Of course, you guys are going to rank things differently, and let me know down in the comment section how you'd rank all this stuff, because I'm genuinely interested, because this was a very, very complicated one for me, because all of the skins that were released were very solid for this season. And I'm hoping it's not the same for season 8 and it could be a little bit easier. But yeah, this one was significantly harder than just past seasons in general. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys later.